your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Business leaders in the Rotary Club of Lucaya hearing several tips to growing and developing their businesses. The featured guest speaker telling those in attendance that they must focus on entrepreneurship. Members of the Rotary Club and business leaders within the community of Grand Bahama hearing firsthand some of the ways they can expand their businesses through the empowerment of their employees. Recruitment officer at BTVI, Sherlock Prince, was the guest speaker at the weekly club meeting and focused not just on entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship. He explains what this means.
The thing is, I believe that many times due to insecurity and different things, employers would not want their employees to do certain things in the business. But if we were to look at the Fortune 500 companies and why they're expanding so fast, it's because most of their initiatives are not coming from the top. It's coming from the bottom.
He says in order for any company to grow, think tanks should be created and employees should be given time to find ways to expand the company. But they must first feel like they are a part of that business.
What we need in Grand Bahama is that we need some employers to actually trust their employees a little more and give them a little leverage and allow them to come up with certain ideas. Gmail, for example, everyone has a Gmail account. If you look at the origin of Gmail, you will discover that now Google got this thing where they give their employees 10% of the time that they spend at work to work on anything that they think could become a project. And Gmail was just something that one of the Google employees came up with.
He says employers must let go of the fear of involving their employees in the growth of their business.
It's not about trying to own everything. It's about being able to attract the best minds. And if you attract the best minds and you give them that freedom where they can do things, they're going to come up with ideas and you're going to be successful and they are going to be successful.
He leaves this bit of advice to all business owners.
It's more than employing people, it's about developing people. So as an employer, if you employ people and they're the same state with you that they've been for the last 15 years, you would have failed as an employer. It's about developing people, and when you develop people, they will develop you.
Switching gears now, after a month of fundraising, the A Step Ahead Chess Club made their annual international trip to the United States. This year, the club traveled to California. Our Megan Shepard caught up with the group recently, and they shared the highlights of their trip.
Students of the A Step Ahead Chess Club hanging out recently after a successful trip to the state of California. Founder Coach Sean Sorsby says that every year the group continues to get better and better. But Sorsby is emphasizing that although the students did an excellent job during tournament play, he strongly believes that the life experience garnered during the trip is most important.
I think what I'm most proud of about that trip is how our young people did. So we had 4 new players, had never played in a rated tournament, much less an international tournament. And I like to say that we lost KD and Clay. So we had 2 of our top players who couldn't make the trip, but our young players stepped up like big time. So they all got wins and helped us win a 3rd place trophy. But we like to say, it's not just about the trophies, even though the trophies are getting bigger and bigger each trip. It's not the size of the trophy, it's really the depth of the experience that we're having.
Club members Brianna Bowe and Quentin Lavardi say they had an amazing time exploring various historic and developing organizations in California.
Last time I only won one game, and this time I won 2. And we got to explore Stanford University. We got to experience Mechanic Institute, the oldest chess club.
My experience in California was very nice. I found it good to go to a different place and find different experiences. I enjoyed playing chess with other people from different cultures, and it was a good experience overall.
Travis Forbes adds that he felt particularly inspired after visiting 2 of the stops on the trip, and he's already planning his future career.
We went to Stanford University, and I learned a lot at Stanford because, well, I might want to go to Stanford from all I learned. And we also went to the Monarch Hotel, which was a nice place to stay. It was a pretty good experience, and we got to play lots of good opponents during the tournament and learned so much from what we played. And we also went to Google, which was really fun, seeing all that they did and how it worked. I want to be an engineer, so that personally was a highlight for me.
A Step Ahead Chess Club is open to all students across the island. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Miss Teenager Bahamas Universe, 17-year-old Sasha Miller, preparing to compete on the world stage this Tuesday in Guatemala. Miller, a recent graduate of Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy and an aspiring music and dance teacher, says she is excited to represent the Bahamas. Director of the Miss Teenager Bahamas Universe, Dominic Russell, also traveling and coaching her during this experience.
Being in pageantry, it has helped me a lot. I know a lot of people say pageants are just a waste of money or just something that isn't good, but I really beg to differ because I have gained a lot. It teaches me to be humble. It raised my self-esteem. It's really good.
Well, this is a beauty pageant first, okay? It's in a Spanish country. It's going to be a little difficult for her because, you know, the translation, but she will be expecting to compete against 32 countries. We're hoping we've made it to top 15 before, and this year I'm hoping to either bring home the crown or bring home a title.
He says those 4 titles are Miss Teenager Universe, World, International, and Earth. He is confident that Miller will capture at least 1 title, while the young queen shares how and why the Bahamas must get involved.
They can go onto Facebook, and they also can go onto the Miss Teenager Official on the Facebook, on Instagram, and like my picture. By doing that, I get into the top 16.
We need people to vote. That's where we lack a lot in international pageants. We lack support. Okay, so we need you to vote. In Spanish countries, they only, by the looks of it, they only use girls who have support from their country. And we need the support. We have a beautiful young lady. We're going over. It was very rough because support was limited. We hardly had sponsors, but we're making it happen with whatever we had, and the friends and family that we had, and the few people that support that we can count on one hand did what they had to do, and we will be making this trip, and we're sure to make you proud.
Now, the costume competition began on Tuesday, that was yesterday, and the crowning is set for this coming Friday. And don't forget to join KB in the Platinum Nights Junkanoo Group this Friday, August 9th at the 5th Annual Sea Grape Homecoming.
This is Ask the Doctor. Welcome. Linda from Nassau asked, how do you know when you're having a heart attack? Linda, thank you for your question. A heart attack occurs when the flow of blood to the heart muscle is blocked, most often by buildup of fat, cholesterol, and other substances, which form a plaque in the tiny arteries that feed the heart. The interrupted blood flow can damage or destroy the affected part of the heart muscle. It is important to remember that heart attack symptoms can vary. Not everyone who has a heart attack has the same symptoms, or even the same severity of symptoms. But in every case, a heart attack is a serious and life-threatening emergency. Some of the symptoms can be pressure, tightness, pain, or squeezing or aching sensation in your chest or arms that may spread to your neck, jaw, or back. Nausea, indigestion, heartburn or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, cold sweat, fatigue, lightheadedness, or sudden dizziness. Most heart attacks occur at home. We know that in many cases, having someone who knows the basics of life-saving CPR and renders assistance to the victim of a heart attack can increase their chances of surviving. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Jay, what do we have up in sports tonight?
Coming up in sports, the YMCA camp is growing each and every day. And also we have Team Bahamas competing at the Pan Am Games in Peru, and they are doing pretty well representing our country so far.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, stay with us. Jay Philippe has a check on sports when we return.